And what's up, everybody? Adam here, BlackTop, SmackTalk. We are back. Special episode today. I know everyone's been asking me, Adam, man, when you guys coming on? We need a pod. Well, I got something better. Y'all don't want to listen to my other fellas. Y'all don't want to hear Charlie. Y'all don't want to hear Sano. And you guys especially don't want to hear Bruce. But we got something even better today. We got a special interview. We have a little interview series. If you guys been following us for a while, we've done a lot of interviews, and we've had a little interview series, and this is the start of a brand new one. A very special guest, a guy that I don't know as well as some of my other fellow coaches, but we got to know each other pretty well this past year. So we got SPU's point guard, Maui Sze. Maui, what's up, bro? How you doing?
What up, man? Thanks for having me on, man.
Happy appreciate it, Bill.
For sure, bro.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Always,
we
bro.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, how's your summer been?
It's been good. It's been an interesting summer. I dealt with like a little sickness for a little bit and some food poisoning last like 2 or 3 weeks, so that was whatever. But then before that, gotta go to the draft with Paulo. Gotta go to Vegas, watch some of my dudes hoop. Went to Slam for vacation, but really it's been a lot of work, to be honest. I like to get my work done early in the day, so I'm normally up by about 5:30, 6 or so. Y'all probably see that soon. Got a little video coming out. But head down, working. I don't really post much, so
Yeah.
people know. If you know, you know.
Silent grind.
Exactly.
Silent grind. No,
Yeah.
I feel it, man. We'll get to some of the summer stuff here later on in the interview, man. But what we like to do with all of our guests, we want to get to know the person, you know, and we want your fans, your close friends, or, you know, people who've been following your career to get to really know you. They may know you. They may know, like, obviously the exterior, but we want to get to know, like, the nitty gritty. So I'm going to ask you some hard hitting.
Yeah,
like,
it's good. I'm good for it. Yeah, it's good.
Nah, I'm messing with you, man. But you guys see BC jersey. Maui is an alum of Bellevue College. Shout out to my brothers.
Proud
Coach
of them.
Brady, Coach Tone, Coach Firm, Coach Tibbs. You know, we got the Maestro Athletics hat on. We'll talk about Maestro Athletics. Shout out to my people at Maestro. But man, the beginning. What got you started in the game of basketball?
I started playing at the Ballard Boys and Girls Club, I think, when I was like 6 or 7. That's when I really remember starting to play basketball. I remember, I told us last week, I was talking at a camp. I remember putting on the wristbands. You had to guard the person that was your wristband color.
Yeah.
But like,
They still do that.
I was like running around taking the ball from everyone. They were like, no, you can't take the ball from everyone. So that's when like my parents were like, okay, he might be good because he's like actually out here hooping. So then I started playing rec, started playing up. That's how my basketball career kind of started. To be honest, some people know, but I was probably better at baseball when I was younger. So I was on Queen Anne Little League.
Okay.
I loved baseball, played for Seattle Select. Like I was full out, like loved baseball, secondarius, whatever. And then I think when I got to like, especially because like growing up, like I was on the B team. Like I was a B team kid growing up. Like I was on Rotary B team. I was on ECBA B team. So like baseball was like, I'm on the A team. I'm hitting third. Like it's good.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm just better for baseball. And then eventually my love for baseball just kind of fell out. It's like it's a grind. Like baseball's a real grind. Basketball, I think I could deal with it, mostly because it's indoors. I didn't want to be out in the cold and the rain, sitting out doing whatever. And then, my career kind of took off. Probably, I would say, like, I realized I was good, like, 8th grade. 6th, 7th grade, I was kind of like the white kid who's, like, a spot-up shooter on Rotary, to be honest. Like, like, I remember, like, we went on a trip to Texas, and my mom, like, got mad at some kid because some kid was like, oh, yeah, that kid's probably only on team because his parents are rich. And I was, like, starting at the time, but it was like, damn, so that's what people really think of me, right? And then by the time I got to 8th grade, I was pretty good. Like, me and Marjan were, like, the main dudes on the Rotary team at the time. But
Marjan Beauchamp.
Marjan Beauchamp.
Okay, yeah.
Milwaukee Bucks, 24th pick. But I remember, I think our first tournament, we lost in the championship, but I was killing that tournament, like killing. And then, not going to say any names, but someone in the camp told me, look, man, you're good, but that's not your role. Like, I don't know if you'll ever average 15 a game in high school. So, like, at that point, I was like, wow. Like, there's people even in my closest circle that I realized, like, might not think I could do something. And then I put doubt into my head, too, right? But honestly, that's kind of been my story, honestly. Like, I've had my dad be my biggest critic. Myself, I'm a huge critic on myself.
Right.
Like, I've had people tell me stop being so hard on yourself. But honestly, I just use all that as motivation because, like, I'm probably not supposed to be where I am right now. Like, if you saw me on the street, I'm just a normal dude. I'm not a basketball player,
right.
especially not a Division II basketball player doing, with the things I do. So it's like, man, I'm here, a 5'10", 5'11", short Asian white kid playing
Right.
Division II basketball. Like, you don't see that every day. So it's, not to like pop my stuff, but like freshman year, I averaged 17 a game at Blanchet. Like,
hold on, we'll get to high school. We'll get to high school. We'll get to high school.
There we go.
But that's what's up though. So, who were some guys you said you played with? You played with some great players in AAU growing up, but who were some guys that you kind of looked up to when basketball started to become more and more clear? Like, oh man, I'm actually nice. Like, who are some guys that you looked up to from the area?
That's a great question. So I've never really been over this, but me and my dad like made it like the Friday thing was to go to high school games when I got like 6th, 7th grade. Like, so right when I started like liking the sport, falling in love, it's like, let's go to high school games. So I remember the first ever high school game. Actually, the first high school game I went to was Garfield versus Ballard after a Rotary practice, like 5th grade. Tony Rowan was playing, but I had no clue who he was at the time.
Yeah.
No clue. And I was just like, wow, he's really good. Like,
yeah,
I'm probably not ready for this ever. I'm in like 5th grade, like watching this dude throw left hand. No, I'm like, okay, I'm not ready for this.
Right.
But my first ever like real game that I remember was Seattle Prep versus Lakeside at Lakeside in the old gym. Tiny gym. Prep kids all wearing togas. It's crazy. So we had DJ Fenner at Prep.
Shout out DJ. Former BTST guest.
I think that might have been his junior. It was his junior year, I think. Maybe his senior year. And then we got Tremaine at Lakeside.
Yeah.
Tremaine was like definitely like, I've told him this, like he's one of those dudes that like, man, like I love watching Tremaine. He brought so much energy and like played so hard. He had that little swag to him too.
Yeah.
And then, so I loved that Lakeside team. That made me want to go to Lakeside. But then after that, it was Isaiah Brown. So like it was kind of that Lakeside family tree where it was like it went from Tremaine to IB. And IB was like insane.
Yeah.
Like I would go to Tuesday night games to watch IB play. And my dad's like, no, like we're not going to a Tuesday night game. I'm like, I need to go see IB play because he might drop 50 tonight.
Right. I believe Metro's all-time leading scorer.
Yes. Metro's all-time leading scorer.
Think of all the players that have ran through Metro. He's all-time leading scorer. That's crazy. That's what's up, though.
It's crazy. Definitely another underrated dude, too. So
yeah.
That's him just, for sure.
Definitely, man. So, you had mentioned Rotary. I had seen, pictures. And I believe you had posted some pictures, too, of, you playing with some marquee guys, in Rotary. And then, so just talk about, a little bit, just talk about your Rotary experience and then, and why you made the switch over. Because as a going into your senior year, I believe, or your junior year?
Technically going into my senior year. My last year AAU,
yeah. Your last year AAU, you made the switch to Washington Supreme.
Yeah. Played
on the Under Armour circuit. Was that Coach Howell?
Yeah, Coach Howell.
Yeah, under Coach Howell, legendary Coach Howell. So, yeah, just talk to us about that.
So Rotary, man, start off at in-house, of course. If you really want to play basketball at a young age, you need to go to in-house because that's gonna make everyone tough. So that's where it all started. My parents got me into. I don't know how they found out. I was at ECBA and I just got sent up there, and then so my first like couple of Rotary teammates was really like Paulo. So it was like me, Paulo, and then Savell Smalls, who's a D-end at UW now.
Oh yeah.
And then Silas Tyson.
Yeah.
We got Javante Durant, dudes like that. But Paulo was like my best friend pretty much. Fifth, like still to this day, obviously. Right. But like 5th, 6th, 7th grade, like that's my guy. Like road trips, if his parents can come, he stay with us. Tournament Saturday, all right. Mom, can I sleep over? Yeah, you sleep over with us. So I started off with Paulo, and then 7th and 8th grade, Marjan made the switch over to Rotary, so I played Marjan next. And that was a unique experience because I never played with someone like him. Like he was already so like developed. Like by 7th and 8th grade, like he could shoot the ball. He was already tall and long, like, and he really wanted to score. And that was when I was transitioning to a point guard. So it was really different for me to like learn how to facilitate and find him the ball. So 7th and 8th grade, play with him. Then 9th and 10th grade, I got to play with Tari Eason, all at Rotary. Keep in mind, all these dudes I played with at Rotary. And these are the 3 dudes that were taken in the first round this year. First.
Dang, that's
I
dope.
think Tari went 17. Sorry, Tari, if you went before that.
Yes, he was.
And then I believe
17,
Marjan was 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So all 3 dudes from Seattle I played with growing up. So like that also.
Were you guys all on the same team at one point?
No, we were not.
It didn't
Paulo, I mean, secret, no. Like Paulo's freshman year when he played 17 for Rotary, he was supposed to play 16U with us.
Yeah, he did tell us that. Paulo did tell us that.
He was supposed to play 16U with us, and that would have been a squad. That would have been just a run-through team. But me, Nolan Hickman, John Christophilus, Shane Noel, JT, Tari, and Paulo. And keep in mind that we were already like a top 10 team in the country, something like that. And then you throw in a number 1 pick, we probably would have been the best team in the country. But no. But actually, I got to play with Tari and Marjan together in a little Adidas tournament down in Anaheim my junior year. But no, kind of bummed I never got to play with all 3 of them. We played in pickup together.
Yeah, but not officially on
not
a
officially
roster.
together.
Okay.
No, but I definitely loved playing with all of them, and like I'm still close. Like I use basketball like to build relationships. Like I definitely don't. You let the ball use me. I kind of know it's friends for a lifetime. So I'm still tight with all 3 of them. I'm tight with almost all my teammates that I've been teammates with, which is like crazy. Cause like since 5th grade, now I'm 21.
That's the dope thing about the game.
Exactly.
A round ball can do so much for you. I know
Exactly.
it's connected us. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
So
yeah.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
So then Washington Supreme, what went into that?
To be fair, I wasn't really thinking about AAU too much during the season because I think my junior year was probably like my biggest year that put me on the map, like recruiting wise.
Second team All Metro.
Second team All Metro.
At Roosevelt.
At Roosevelt.
And we'll get to your high school career here in a sec after we talk about this. But
hit 1,000 points that year too. Like how many dudes hit 1,000 points in 3 years without even making it deep in the playoffs? Like freshman year, bounce first game, so we played 21 games. The next year, I think we played 22 games. And then junior year, by like our 17th, 18th game, I hit 1,000 points, and I missed a couple games too. So that was crazy, and like I was like going at dudes too, like, and we were good. Like the real difference that like put me like on the map that year was the fact that we were good, because all everyone would say is, "Oh yeah, you're putting up points in junk minutes. Your team's this record, this record.
Naysayers.
No one cares.
Yep.
Whatever." But like that year, like we went down the High Line and beat Federal Way in the championship with Tari, Jaden, Pierre, like all of them. Went down there, beat them. We were undefeated in the Bellevue College Fall League until we lost to Mount Sze, who made the state championship, and obviously the next year won, kind of dominated. And it was like, they might be good. And then we ended up going 11-4 Metro, which got us like the 4th seed or something like that. So like we were like on the map. Like we were ranked top 5 in the state at some point. Like, so that was a big year. So I was focused on all that, right? Getting the state, whatever. State's like the big goal. Didn't make state, and to be honest, like I was really like upset. Obviously, like I didn't watch any more games. I'm not going to anything, not going to state, whatever. And then apparently, Coach Howell like been to a few of my games, so he called me and was just wondering, like he didn't want to step on any toes. He was just wondering where I was at, and I was like, to be honest, I don't know where I'm at right now. And then I had some talks with Rotary, and I just didn't really see myself fitting in the role that they wanted me to play. And Coach Howell really like put a lot of trust in me, and I obviously trusted him, and it was like a good system fit, like Coach Howell like really wants you to get out there on defense.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but put the ball in your hands.
Yeah, he for sure put the ball in my hands, and he really made me like get after it defensively, which like was always like a knock on me for sure. And like I led in minutes played. I ended up leading in assists, if I can get into that. And like we had a good team, so that was dope. And I met some of my best friends to this day. Obviously Liam Lloyd, Jackson Grant over at UW, Tanner Toulson, Mo Cora, Peter Erickson, Jace Barrett.
Was Jabe Mullins on that team?
No, Jabe was not on that team. Jabe, Tyler, and Mitchell were all supposed to come over if Team Levine didn't have that.
That's right. They were on Team Levine. Okay.
So yeah, but we beat them. Yes, we did. We beat them.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, where'd you go to middle school? Were you Whitman?
St. Anne's.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
I'm gone.
Okay, but then Bishop Blanchet.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't know, y'all see me in a lot of the interviews. You see me in the Bishop Blanchet attire. Proud alumni, class of 02. I'm an old man, but we'll leave that. That's a different story for another day. So my man here, freshman year, arrived on the scene. What went into Blanchet? Because you talked about you mentioned Lakeside a little bit, but what
separated Blanchet?
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, me and Coach Blanco got along really well.
That's right. He was still there.
And Coach Marcus Chin too.
That's right.
So
he
both
was there
the coaches,
yeah.
I really like saw eye to eye with, and a lot of my friends from like St. Anne's and like other local middle schools all ended up going to St. Anne's. So I figured it would just be a great fit right away. And I felt like I could play on varsity right away, which was obviously important because like if you're really like trying to be a good hooper like freshman year, like you want to at least be on varsity, you know. So that was pretty much what into it.
Definitely did your thing there. You was you guys, what was that? Won the BC tournament.
We did.
You guys won MVP. MVP as a freshman in anything is in a varsity tournament is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was wild. It's actually funny too. I was talking to Coach Choi about that, our new coach at SPU, because he was the coach at Decatur at the time, and he was like, "Man, like you were really good as a freshman. Like we're scouting for a freshman. Like we don't do that." And I was like, "Man, like I had a good year. I was really good my freshman year for sure."
Definitely. So then, season's over, school year ends. You hurt us Braves. You hurt us. We were hurt. You went to the Riders, Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Where you had a obviously you alluded to earlier. You had a really nice career there. You played with one of my my guys who I coached in middle school, Malik Johnson.
I did play with Malik. Yeah.
You played with my guy Malik. But then Roosevelt, what happened to? Were you not feeling the private school setting anymore, or you don't have to go in depth? What were some of the things about Blanchet, or was there a coaching change, or what was it?
For sure, like the school atmosphere was definitely different than what I thought. That was kind of a maturing moment. Obviously, college is like, or high school is a big maturing moment. Like you're getting into your 16, 17, 18, you start to drive, you get to, you get to go out, hang out with friends on stuff, you get to go to football games on Fridays, and, like, I was slowly realizing, like, maybe, like, this crowd here, like, might not be for me, and then a coaching change in the off season definitely, like, changed my whole outlook, and then, I mean, I was really ready to make that jump, right over
Go to
Roosevelt.
public school.
Exactly,
Public school. So Roosevelt, like you said, in 3 years of high school basketball, you became a 1,000-point scorer. Great career at Roosevelt. You said you guys were ranked with your junior year, which were you were second team all Metro in a loaded Metro league. Well, Metro League has been loaded every year. I feel like every. What happened? You touched on it briefly, but you guys were ranked. But then what happened
at the end?
Yeah, at the end of the season.
That was just a crazy year, to be honest. So just to go a little more in depth, so we went down to Rancho Mirage for that tournament, like top division, like elite. Like we played Josh Christopher and Mayfair first night, beat them, like huge win for the program, obviously. Also that year we beat Garfield at Garfield for the first time in like 25 years, and that's something cool to touch on because it was like. That was my first high school game. Like, I actually seen with Tony Roden, I was like, I don't know if I can beat these guys. And to do it, like, in that gym that year, and, like, Coach Scheffler was, like, alum of Roosevelt. He was like, before me, he's like, I never beat them here. Like, there's been people that have never won here for, so that was something really big for us. And then, so we went down to Rancho Mirage. We played Mater Day. I got a matchup with Devin Askew.
Oh, yeah.
He was a 5-star at the time, really good. And, like, I kind of held my own. And, like, that was, like, a moment for sure where I was like, wow, like, maybe I'm good enough to, like, hang with these, like, 5 stars, 4 stars, dudes like that. And then come back, I actually ended up hurting my rotator cuff in a game against Cleveland. If you remember our Roosevelt team, we ran Ryder, little flex. I come off flex screen, got my shoulder jammed up. Then ended up playing West Seattle that next Friday. And that was a game to go to districts. Right. So basically, us and them were tied. Take the top 2 from each division. Us and West Seattle, it was their senior night. Came out of there with a win. That was, like, crazy. One of the craziest games. I was shooting free throws in the game, and I didn't know this was possible, but the band was smacking their drums. I didn't even know it was possible. Like, I couldn't even hear my own thoughts. That was crazy in itself. And then just then, of course, we get to play Seattle Prep next game, who's like the dark horse, like down year a little bit. And like, if we lose this game, even though we have head to head with West Seattle, our record's going to be worse. So we're going to get dropped. And like, I went up Saturday morning, like I woke up, my shoulder was just like, this is not happening. And like, so went down the trainer, everything on Monday. And it was like, are you sure you can play tomorrow? I don't know. Like, ended up playing, didn't really like shoot very much. Like, I ended up going like 4 for 11 from the free throw line. Like, wasn't, but we still won.
Right.
And that was a testament to my toughness. But the worst part about that is that we were playing O'Day Friday. Right after Seattle Prep. I woke up the next morning. I couldn't sit out of bed. I got put in a sling for like a week or so. And like, this was the moment. Like, I work out with Paul in the off season. Like, I'm talking. I'm like, bro, we're ready for y'all. Like, we had the same record. Like, I think they were like 3rd in the state. We were like 4th in the state. At O'Day on a Friday night, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be jumping. And then I can't play. He's talking to me from the court. I'm just sitting on the bench. Then we finished the season, and then the snow hits. That was the year snow hits. Puts us off. They canceled the Metro tournament that year. It was supposed to be at UW too.
That's right.
Which would have been big time. But it allowed my shoulder to heal and stuff like that, so I was feeling better. But all that time not in the gym for a team like us really hurts because, like, we're a team that relies on skill, trusting each other, all this, all that, like shooting. No one can get out. No one can shoot. So then, of course, we get set up with West Seattle. So somehow we're Metro 5. We're 11-4. They're Metro 7. They're 11-4. Garfield's Metro 6. They're, 9-6?
Mm-hmm.
But because of divisions, we had to play West Seattle. So you got 2 top-tier teams playing each other, loser out game, and ended up losing it somehow. I still don't know. Like, to this day, it was a tough loss for sure. Kef still, like, I'll see Kef, and I'll be like, Kef, bro. Like, that was my one chance at state.
Right.
You've already been, like, you couldn't just let me go. He's like, look, man, I didn't play the game. I'm like, all right, Kef. But, no, that's my guy now. Everything's definitely come full circle. So that was definitely tough. You know, we could have been the first team to go to state at Roosevelt for, like, a while. And, like, honestly, that year, that was such a random year at state. I mean, Mount Spokane got to the championship, and we beat Mount Spokane twice in the summer. So it was like, maybe we could have been in that game. Who really knows? Everyone's going to say no, obviously, because like, it's Roosevelt. You're not Beach. You're not O'Day. You're not EC. You're not this. But, like, you know, I obviously trusted myself and my guys. And, you know, if you told anyone that Roosevelt would be 11-4 my junior year, probably be like, you're crazy. It's Roosevelt.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
For sure.
So, you know, but whatever. I still believe in it.
Definitely, man. Damn, that's crazy. So then we go into your senior year. You know, obviously I'm in tune with, like, you know, my guys at Bellevue, and hear that you transferred. You went to Ingram.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to touch on it a lot. You just, you know, whatever you got. How come the transfer, and then how come you didn't play senior year?
Yeah. So transfer, that was kind of like a closed door, like, coaches thing basically going on pretty much. You know, and to be honest, like, I told people this, like, he basically said, like, the program's bigger than you because I was focusing on AAU because, like, I was playing really good at the time. And so I missed a couple open gyms in June for, like, lifts with Tim Manson, and he just wasn't happy. So basically he was like, the program's bigger than you. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. I kind of felt like pushed out, to be honest. So, yeah, basically, me and Mitchell had a good relationship, like, in the past. So I ended up going to Ingram. And then, I mean,
did they block your transfer?
No, the craziest, it's like there was 7 transfers at Ingram. So, like, we were supposed to be really good, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they made state
state
before. We were supposed to be really good. We got 7 transfers, and I'm the only one that has a hearing. So it was like, as soon as you get set up for a hearing, you kind of like, all right, something fishy's going on, right? So then I go into my hearing at the district level, denied. Then I go into the state level, denied. Keep going to the state. I think I went to the state one like 3 times. Denied every time, and it was just like, man, like, it's like depressing. Obviously, like, this is my senior year, and I can't play, you know? And I'm expected to, like, be the guy that puts a team over the hump to eventually win state. And, like, I'm coming off a big junior year, like, we have open gyms, like UW's coming, St. Mary's is coming, Princeton's coming. Like, they're all coming for Mitchell, but they're all, like, walking away. Like, we like this kid. Like,
right.
We're talking to him. So that was really tough, honestly. And, you know, like, taking away basketball from a kid like me, like, man, to be fair, though, I developed definitely some, like, bigger perspective. And, like, I got to watch practice every day, develop more of, like, a coaching thing, honestly. And I think that ended up helping me this year at Bellevue. Yep. Like, seeing the game at a different point, like, learning, like, how to talk to dudes, like, in the right way and things like that.
How to lead.
Yeah, for sure. But, man, that was a tough year, especially, I mean, that's when COVID hit too. So.
Yeah. So, man, so obviously not playing your senior year, that kind of, did it hurt your recruiting? And essentially, you basically took a year off. Or you took 2 years off from the game. So, I guess my question is, how did you end up at Bellevue? Like, from Ingram to Bellevue, what happened in between that time?
Yeah, to be fair, like, my recruiting got, like, hammered.
Because of you.
Because I didn't play my senior year. So, that was obviously tough. I was talking to St. Mary's about potential walk-on for, like, a little bit, and that eventually fell through. And really, like, nothing was happening. I mean, I think we were, like, radio silent until, like, I want to say, like, November, December, when people were like, all right, we might have a season again, right? So I was playing with Elite Prep for a little bit. I was practicing with them, with Tayon and them.
Okay.
That was an idea, but I didn't think that was probably the best thing for me. Especially, I think one of the biggest pieces was that you could get a free year of eligibility. I always, like, everyone was telling me, like, if you can go to college, like, go to college because you're going to develop the most there. And, like, there's, like, this bad stigma about JUCOs, and, like,
oh, trust me.
I'll be the first person to shut that down after going through it. Like,
I'm already knowing.
Especially if you're going to get a free year of eligibility, then that is the
100%.
best thing possible.
100%.
Literally. Like, that changed everything for me. So, obviously, when it was, like, rumored that I could go to a JUCO or something like that, like, calls came, like, flooding through.
Oh, yeah,
like, a kid, like, going to this level. Like, so my phone was just off the chart, to be honest.
Yep.
But, like, I wanted to stay local. Like, I didn't want to go to Coeur d'Alene. I didn't want to go down south to Highline or Portland or Lane or anything like that. So, honestly, Coach Brady, like, kind of told me, like, how, like, there would be a system and this and that. And obviously I've known Tibbs too, and Bellevue has, like, beautiful facilities. I mean, if you play AAU, you've been to Bellevue a million times in your life.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I ended up choosing Bellevue, and, you know, I think that was definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made, for sure.
Definitely, man. So you played in the COVID year, which the season was, what was that, May and June? April, May, June?
April, May, June, yeah.
So weird, so bizarre. You know, I remember talking to the team, or I'm sorry, talking to the coaches about it, and they just, I know you guys missed some games. You guys could have won the league, but COVID, you know, hindered you guys. Just, I guess from a player's perspective, just tell the audience, like, and what that was like, because it was weird because we seen it in the NCAA, you know, and then you see it at the JC, but there's no tournament. You just play the same team. What was it, like 4 times, 4 times? 4 times
for 20 games.
That was tough, and then you had to miss games because of COVID. So just
what was that like?
Yeah, what was it like? You don't have to, like, go into, like, super depth about it, but just kind of just touch on it a little bit.
It was crazy. Like, looking back on it, like, in the moment, I was like, oh, yeah, this is the normal. But looking back on it, it was crazy. Like, we were playing with no fans. And for me, take it from me, this is a guy that hasn't played a basketball game since, like, 2019.
Right.
And now we're in 2021. And I'm like, what is, like, I have no clue. Like, practicing, I'm so happy. All this, we're practicing with masks on, right? Doing all this, we got to go get tested. And then it was like, honestly, I had no clue where I was going to fit in. Like, it was definitely a jump, especially from a kid not playing basketball in 2 years. And, like, I felt, like, weird playing.
Yeah.
It was, like, a different energy. Obviously, like, it's a whole new level. Like, high school to college jump is a huge jump. And, like, I haven't played in 2 years. That's probably one of the worst things. But I was still, like, good. And honestly, I was surprised. I remember texting my parents after the first game at Wacom. I think I had like 16 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
I texted them. I was like, I thought I was going to play horrible tonight. Like in warm-ups, I'm bricking everything. Like something's off about the gym. These guys look big. These guys look strong. I ended up playing good. So then I was like,
smacked them too.
Yeah, we beat them. We put 100 on them.
Because, you and Orlando.
Yeah.
Woo, shout out to O.
Shout out to
O.
Oh,
you guys had a squad. That team was fun to watch.
That was a good team for sure. But it was just weird. Like, we're playing this 5 teams. There's 8 teams normally. We're playing.
Oh, yeah, because a couple teams didn't play.
Olympic and Shoreline pulled out. So then we ended up playing each team 4 times. Didn't end up being 4 times, obviously, because after we played, I think it was Whatcom for the no, we didn't play in the 4th time. After one of our games,
someone got your big man got COVID.
After we went up to Whatcom again, a couple guys caught COVID, and that really like messed us up.
Yeah,
like
I remember.
we were in first place at the time, I think. And then we're heading down the stretch. And then actually our first game back to jump into because we're now tied with Skagit because they've been playing. We beat Skagit at Skagit. First game back, we're all like lungs are shot. Like we somehow beat the number 1 team. And we basically had a chance to win it all.
Then 3 games in 3 days, wasn't he? Or 4 games that week?
4 games that week, 3 games in 4 days. It was like 4 games in like 5 days. We played Peninsula at home, won that game. Played Peninsula at Peninsula on their senior night, and they're like the only team with fans in the whole league, and that place is jumping. And we beat them the previous 3 times. Rollman, if you hear this, yes. I like playing Peninsula for sure. And then played Everett back-to-back, ended up losing both. I mean, it was just tough. I mean, it was Everett. Like, they won 4 league titles in a row.
Right.
And then to make it even worse, I rolled my ankle the first game against Everett at home, and like Brady was like, "You shouldn't play tomorrow." And I was like, "Why would I not play?" But like as soon as I went out there, like I knew something. Like if you watched me play that game, like something was off. Ended up losing that, and that hurt. Like even though we're not really playing for much, like
it's like you are, but you aren't.
Yeah, but like also like we developed like a little rivalry with Everett.
Yep.
And to like lose to them and like watch them run on the court, like when they said it didn't matter to them, it obviously mattered. Like, that was when I was like, man, like I can't let this happen again. Like to be honest, like this is horrible. Like if you know me, as soon as that day ended, I literally set my screensaver as the Everett gym because I wanted to go back there and like make up for what I did. Sadly, I still don't feel like I did. Maybe I did, but to me, I still feel like I left something out there. But yeah, that just led into the next year.
Right. So this past season or last season, because we're going into a new season. This last season, historic run for Bellevue, 2nd place. You had a monster year, first team all NWAC freshman of the year, first team all NWAC tournament, 2nd place in the NWAC tourney. But you and I were texting back and forth during this. There's a crucial time in your season where you guys were struggling, beginning of league play, and I was at. I think it was right after the Peninsula game, the one I was at. You guys were winning, ended up losing. It was at home.
Yeah, it was at home.
And then you guys, and I remember just texting you on the side, like, man, you guys can make a run at it. You guys just have to believe. And I think I still have the text. It starts with you. You have to. Your guys will follow.
Yeah.
So then, you guys got an incredible win at Edmonds. Ben hit the half court shot.
Yes. Ben saved the season.
Yeah, he
saved the season.
I remember watching it. I was like,
Literally.
I'm watching it at home, just like yelling, and I felt like I was part of the staff and the team.
Literally.
It was crazy. So after that Edmonds game, what do you think turned your season around? Do you think that was the momentum changer you guys needed?
Yes.
That was it.
Like the worst part about the run was like we probably shouldn't have lost 3 of those games. We lost at home to Shoreline bad, but like we knew like 3 of those games we shouldn't have lost. We just lost to teams on like historic shooting nights. Like me and Brady would go through the stats of their games after that, and teams are not hitting like that again. And it was just, but that's hard. Like mentally, it's like we're playing good and we're not winning. So we're trying to change stuff. We're trying to change schemes, all this, all that. And then beating Edmonds was kind of like, wow, like maybe we just won a game we weren't even supposed to win. Like honestly, but I think
what's crazy is, I don't mean to cut you off, you struggled from the free throw line in that game.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest focus this offseason for sure.
And I remember telling you, I was like, man, shake the free throws off.
Literally,
You'll be good. Just shake the free throws off. You got the win. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
You utilize that for the next game. So I didn't mean to cut you off.
Rest of the season, honestly, I was locked in on free throws. But that was a tough mental game for me because it was like the previous year at Edmonds, I shot like 1 of 11, 1 of 13.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, there's something funny. But if you're in the NY, you know something funny about that gym. There's like when you walk in that gym, there's just a little funny feeling. But then I got over it. Like I started off hot, started playing good, everything.
Mm-hmm.
The free throws just weren't falling. I was like, man, like what am I doing? But I figured it out. And then after that, it's always nice to get a game against Whatcom. Handle that. And then we definitely started a run from there on out. I mean, honestly, after that Edmonds game, we only lost 2 games the rest of the year. Yeah. We lost to Skagit at home, and then we lost in the.
That was a tough one.
We lost in the finals, but like we got hot at the right time. I think one of the craziest ones was definitely the Everett game. That might get swept under the rug because Everett didn't make the tournament. But at that point, like Everett was still really good.
Yeah, they're always tough.
And they're our rival, obviously. Like I'm taking that game personal, and we're down 12 with like 4 minutes left. Like, bro, like we did all this, and we ended up coming back, winning in overtime. That's our second overtime win. That was after we beat Edmonds in overtime.
Yep.
And it felt good to win in there, obviously. Then we got scraped by Skagit. The thing is, like, after that game, we were still like, we're fine. Like, we lost to Shoreline at home by 30. So whatever, we're going to bounce back. I think we played Shoreline the next game at Shoreline. Got a big win. Then we played Olympic at home. That was the one, like, we were really like, we need to win this one. Because, like, that's the number 1 team in the league. And when we went out there, like, tie game with 2 minutes left, we lost. I even had 19 and 10 that game. So I was like, I don't even know what more. Like, I could do more, obviously. But, like, if I'm dropping 19 and 10, we're losing. Like, this is a good team. Ended up winning that one. Crazy. Bishop pretty much just sealed the game at the end. And then one of my personal favorite games from the season at Peninsula on their senior night. Like, that day was just all set up for failure, too. Like, there's one ferry going out, so we drive all the way around to Port Angeles. Not to mention,
I remember hearing the story.
Not to mention, that day, I got food poisoning. I swear to God. I get to the gym, I'm like, oh, my God. Like, my stomach does not feel good. And then ended up playing the game. And, like, playing Peninsula was, like, always my least favorite team because, like, they would face guard me full court. But, like, I always end up finding a way to, like, get through it. But that game in particular, I think down the stretch of the game, I think with, like, 6 minutes left, I ended up scoring, like, 16 points. For there and overtime. Overtime out of every point but 2. But it was also, like, seasons on the line. Us, Shoreline, and Peninsula are tied. The winner of this game pretty much controls their own destiny. If you win your last game, you're in the tournament. And it was like, we put in all this work. And, like, that was a moment where I was literally like, I'm not going to let us lose. Like, and if you ask Brady, if you ask Tibbs, if you ask any of them, the last play of the game, tie game, Brady was trying to call a play. I literally looked over at him. I said, no. Just clear out the way. Let me go. I'm going to go win us this game. End up winning us the game. And that was like, we did it. We're in the tournament now, right? And then jump into the tournament. I don't know. I don't know what happened to me, to be honest. Like, I still look at the stats from that tournament, and I'm like, what was I doing?
That
was crazy.
That was historic, man. You was on one. I watched every game. You was on one. You was on one. And then, it's just Yakima they just made a couple more shots. You guys got cold. That you guys were hot every game, and then. It's basketball, you know what I'm saying? So you just got cold at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, you hate to say it, but, like, it felt like, man, if we played them 10 times, we probably beat them 8 or 9.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, it's a one-game tournament. And I'm sure if you ask Wenatchee, they probably say the same thing, that they beat us 8 or 9 times. But it was just tough because that was the one, like, man, like, that one was definitely tough on all of us, like, trying to still stay positive after the game. It was like, because also this was after most of the dudes from the COVID year were back, so like we knew like this might be the end of like all of us together, and it was like, man, we just lost to a team we probably shouldn't have lost to if we just played a little better. Still seeing that second place trophy to this day. Like when I go back to BC and shoot, like that haunts me. Honestly, like that's definitely like one of the things I wish we could like change, but still, like, none of that really matters to me because I made sure Brady got his first win in the tournament. I went up to him after the first game. I said, "Hey, DB, you got one." Ended up tripling it, actually. We got 3.
Yep.
And Bellevue hadn't even been to a finals since Firm played.
Yeah, that was like 2007, I believe.
Literally.
2007, yeah.
And we also went through probably one of the best NWAC teams, like, not ever, but that team, that Wenatchee team was
they were stacked.
Crazy.
They were good. If you could talk, just, once again, I appreciate you coming on. We're not going to take too much longer of your time. Just first couple things that pop in your head when I ask you these things about these guys. Coach Brady, what it, as I know you could probably say a lot about him and what he's done. He's done a lot for me in my life and as a coach. But what did he, mean to you, or what could just like a couple words to describe him?
Trust, honesty, leadership, and it's like he was always clear in communicating. Honestly, he like what brought me back to like love the game. So like I'm always gonna be thankful for him, of course, and he knows that.
Definitely. Coach Tone.
Too loud. He's definitely one of like our louder coaches. Our other coaches, like, they don't get too loud. He's loud. He brings energy. He's funny. Like, Tone is hilarious.
He's all right. He's not.
Tone is hilarious.
No, that's my brother, man. I love that dude.
That man is hilarious.
No, I know.
Oh my gosh, and he be coming out with some drip. All the coaches be trying to come out with some drip. Tone always be trying.
No,
you know what I'm saying? He always be trying.
Tibbs.
That's my guy. Like, we had our little workout routine. So like he like probably knows like my game the best out of all the coaches, and like tries to like relay it. He's definitely like the player's coach. Like, he looks at it from like the 1-on-1 stance and how you can combine that to a 5-on-5 stance. That's definitely my guy. He's always positive. I feel like he's just always giving back, honestly, to everyone.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Shout out to him. He just had a beautiful baby girl, right?
Yes,
baby girl.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Shout out to him. Beautiful baby girl to him and his lady. Firm.
Definitely a leader. He's more of like our defensive minded coach, but like he was one of the quieter coaches for sure. But like he knew everything inside out. Like he always came up with schemes. He always like would see things and like throw suggestions out, and it was like, man, like he's a silent killer.
Oh yeah,
he's a silent assassin for sure. No, love all of them for sure.
Definitely, man. So okay, a couple things. We got a few more minutes. SPU. Committed to SPU. Signed, committee. Begin there.
Ready.
You guys start classes next month?
September 12th.
September 12th.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like I played a huge role, but I know a lot of your recruiting. Who was looking at you, who was talking to you, visits. You and I had talked a lot. Just what went into the decision for SPU?
To be honest, like, it just, corny as it sounds, like it felt like home, and it felt like the best fit and where like I was needed and wanted most, which is obviously important. I was talking to some other GNAC schools. I was talking to Alaska Anchorage, Alaska Fairbanks. I was talking to Utah Valley. That was probably my favorite at first. I loved
Utah Valley.
I loved
Coach Madsen. Yeah.
Coach Madsen was so tight. Plus, Coach Howell kind of helped me with that one in the tournament. Seattle U, Eastern, Chaminade, Hawaii Pacific.
Man, we're not.
Yeah,
that's a different story.
Yeah,
for
Minot State, Bemidji State. Those were like the main ones. Western a little bit, Simon Fraser a little bit. But the main three was really like Alaska Anchorage, Alaska Fairbanks, and SPU were like the main three. I ended up taking a visit to Alaska Fairbanks, didn't get to take one to Anchorage. And I took a visit to SPU, obviously. SPU just kind of felt like the right fit. I get along with the guys, and like, I'm ready now, like, for sure, ready.
Definitely. Okay, so I got 3 more questions, and I'll let you go. You were obviously there's been a lot of talk about the NIL, and you recently signed a NIL deal with Maestro Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
They're close friends of mine. Aunt and Jen, close friends of mine. Aunt's like the godfather to my daughter, or one of the godfathers to my daughter. So we and him go back. Talk to us about that deal. As much as you can possibly say.
Yeah.
And I guess how it came about.
I believe it all started off with you, actually.
Yeah, that's right. It did. I did hit you about that. Yeah.
Your buddies might be interested, so I reached out to them, and kind of our visions aligned of, you know, what I see in my NIL future and what they want their brand to end up looking like. And I'm honestly really excited, you know, especially today. Had a big like discovery day, I like to call it, like a day in the life, and hang out with Gabe all day. He works on the design, so I'm working on a logo. And you know, obviously, like, I love their clothes, and like promoting a Seattle brand and all that, like, it's just super cool to me. You know, like, I'm completely Seattle. Like, everything about me is Seattle through and through.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm just really excited for sure. You know, there's a lot of things coming in the future.
And that's exciting, man. So two more for you. Goal after college. You have 3 years left, or you have 2?
3.
Man, that's love. So you have 3 years left. What goal? Just a couple goals. You don't have to like go into great depth about it, but a couple goals.
Obviously, I'd love to keep playing basketball as long as I can. You know, whether that's, you know, here in the States or overseas or something like that. You know, I love to do that. And you know, if that doesn't work out, or you know, after that works out, I'm hoping to either become probably a sports agent or a coach. Kind of, you know.
I can see the coach.
I can make later.
I can see you being a coach.
Yeah.
And like after your playing career is done, because I think you can definitely. I ain't trying to sit here and pump you up or nothing, but I know enough to know that you have a long career ahead of you.
Yeah, I know a pretty good coach that wanted me to come coach with him out of high school. To be honest.
Oh yeah.
Not very many people know that story, but I mean, I guess I'll tell it. Basically, Liam Lloyd was on our Washington Supreme team. His dad's Tommy Lloyd, AP Coach of the Year this last year at Arizona. He was the assistant coach at Gonzaga at the time, offered me a walk-on. In hindsight, probably should have took that. But I felt like I wanted to keep playing basketball, and I probably would never play at GU. And Tommy really wanted me to like take me under his wing and like learn how to become a coach, because he really felt like one day I could become a great coach. And, you know, I'm still grateful for that relationship. You know, I still talk to him and stuff. But, you know, hearing that from AP Coach of the Year that, you know, maybe one day I could be a coach. So, yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or being an agent, you know. I know a lot of people. It's a good business. And, yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see for sure.
Definitely. And this is a question we like to ask all our guests. You know, the final question we like to ask all of them. Mm-hmm. You've played a lot of people from the city, from the state. What was the toughest matchup you ever had?
Toughest matchup I've ever had. That's tough.
Especially at the point guard position.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm definitely have to go with Nolan, for sure. He was, I mean, like, I got to play against him so much. Like, we practice together every day. Like, we're going against each other. Like, that's my guy. That's my turtle. As we like to say, we got a little inside joke. But, yeah, Nolan was a tough matchup. I still wish when we played Hale my freshman year that Mike Porter played. So I've played him in ones. Like, we're close, but, bro, he was – I was talking about that with Glenn today. Mike Porter was something else. Yeah. For sure. And then Paulo, that's not a tough matchup. That's nothing. It's nothing. It's food.
I love it. Yeah. I love it, man. Well, I know we could go on. We could break the podcast into segments, because there's a lot to talk about. But we just wanted to give you your fans and the people around you to get a chance to know you more, know your story, hear what you have to say. This is your this is the Maui story, you know what I'm saying? Man, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to rap with me, chop it up with me. And I know my guys they're all sorry they couldn't be here, but they appreciate it too. So, man, we got Maui Sze here, SPU point guard. Man, we appreciate it, bro.
Man,
thank you, man.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, bro. Thank you. So, Adam here, BTST signing off. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Matt, you want to plug anything? You want to plug your IG or anything like that?
Man, Maui XY Z. That's how you say my last name, SZE. Just want to thank Adam, obviously, and shout out to my parents. And, you know, if you stay tuned with me, you might see something special this year. You know, we definitely going to have something cooking up at SPU. You know, come out and support if you're from the city, obviously. That'd be nice to see. But, yeah, thank you for having me, for sure.
Definitely, bro. We appreciate it. It's love, man. We appreciate it. All right, BTST signing off. Thank you. Blessings.